This time on GeekPod Blue.
Warning, station is now in code blue.
Hello and welcome to this edition of GeekPod Blue. I am your host Hugh and it is day 11 of the 12 pods of Christmas. We are almost there, folks, and I appreciate all of you sticking with me this long. If you have stuck with me, I'm sure it has I'm sure it's had its ups and downs. Recording this has been pretty challenging, I have to say. A lot of research on topics and having to cobble together notes and, not always being able to read those off between, my two screens that I have stuff on as I try to put it together. So it's been interesting for me. I hope it's been at least entertaining for you guys. We have a little ways to go. And today is going to be kind of a thank you, because I want to thank all of you for listening to the show. And I want to read your mail. That is the sound of the GeekPod Blue mailbox. Maybe we should call it Santa's mail sack today. I'm not sure. But we are going to get on. We have a record number of letters today, probably because I begged for them on Twitter and Facebook for the past few weeks. Luckily, we've got a lot of people writing in talking about their holiday traditions. So we are going to start off with our own Lady Laura. And if my mail would open, Laura says, Dear GeekPod Blue, so for me, Christmas was never really all that exciting. I grew up with a single mom who did everything she could for us, and then I had to leave her alone to go with my father. It was always very sad for me, but since I've had my own children, we spend all day long with her. Oh, that's nice. She is surrounded by her kids, grandkids, and now great-grandkids. We may never have gotten the latest great toy or hot new electronics, but we spend the entire day with her in our jammies, which were the one present we open on Christmas Eve, and watch Christmas movies. We usually get a new movie as a gift. We eat snacks all day and make a huge mess, but the look on her face is the best Christmas gift ever. We have a few Christmas traditions, like we all get a new tree ornament every year, decorate our tree all together, and we also spend New Year's Eve together. To me, Christmas has nothing to do with gifts. It has everything to do with family. Family isn't always blood. Some family is chosen. Most of my family is chosen. To all the members of our GeekPod family, Merry Christmas and Happy Yule. Love you all, Laura. Thank you very much, Laura. That's very nice that your family makes Christmas about the family and not about the merchandising or the commercialization. I think that we could all learn a lot from that, I should say. As somebody who grew up poor as well, I certainly look at the tradition of Christmas a lot more than the actual act of gift giving. In fact, I enjoy the days leading up to Christmas far more than the actual Christmas day, because that ends up being a lot of work, a lot of cooking and everything, and it's stressful. But that time up until Christmas, where even strangers are nice to you, it's almost like everybody in the world is a little bit brighter. They're putting all of their concerns aside just for there's the few weeks that we have the holiday season. Strangers are nice. They say please and say thank you. People will actually, say excuse me when they go around you in Walmart instead of barreling through you. And then, of course, on January 2nd, everything goes back to normal and everybody's a douchebag. Next up, we have Webcam Nick Mormon. He wrote in and said, Happy holidays from me. I hope yours is awesome. One big tradition we have in my house is we open gifts Christmas Eve because my grandma can't seem to wait till Christmas Day. Because your grandma can't wait? Really, Nick? Another tradition is I watch A Christmas Story on TBS the whole day. It's not Christmas unless I do that. Hopefully this year I'll actually go get Chinese food and duck like in the movie. Interesting. Side note, you guys are going to hate me for this. I believe I've seen The Christmas Story once in school, of all places, when I was probably about 8 years old, and I've never watched it since. This year, we'll be doing our new tradition of putting together a care package for my little brother. He's in the Navy, so that will be fun to see what everyone's putting in the box for him. I'll probably give him one of my Webcam Nick t-shirts. I am betting that that is exactly what he asked Santa Claus for, Nick. Well, once again, I hope you have an awesome holiday. Be safe, big guy. Much love to you and your family. Thanks, Nick, for referring to me as big guy. That's exactly what I wanted for Christmas. Next, hold on. There goes my phone.
Text from Paul, text from Paul. Everybody loves to get a text from Paul. Text from Paul, text from Paul. Everybody loves to get a text from Paul. Show wins.
And Paul says, on the 11th day of Christmas, my Hugh friend gave to me 11 admonishments for not finishing Stranger Things.
Text from Paul, text from Paul. Everybody loves to get a text from Paul. Text from Paul, text from Paul. Everybody loves to get a text from Paul. Show wins.
Now, moving on with the rest of the letters, we actually got a few letters from some new people, some friends of Webcam Nick. He actually asked them to write in. So, Zach Dupra says, hey, my friend Webcam Nick told me to say my Christmas traditions for ya. Opening gifts at my house. My family goes over to my grandma's house for a big Christmas party. We hang out and eat food. My cousins and I have a tradition of watching Star Wars every year in my grandma's basement. Interestingly enough, Zach, watching Star Wars on Christmas is apparently a thing. I didn't know that till last year. I found out some of my friends do that, and apparently it's kind of a big thing. Now, I think out of all of these Christmas traditions, watching Star Wars every single Christmas might actually be the most important. Maybe even more important than being nice to your douchebag relatives while you're eating dinner. Another friend of Nick's, Marissa Schmick, writes in, hi, I'm a fan of Webcam Nick. My Christmas traditions would be going to my mom's side of the family house to open presents from everyone, then off to Dad's side of the family to do the same thing. Can't forget making cookies with the little ones. I also go to my grandmother's grave, who unfortunately died on Christmas. Oh, we sit up there for her for a while. Christmas is always a great tradition for my family. Oh, Marissa, I'm sorry. That's awful that your grandmother died on Christmas. It's good that you guys have not let it ruin the holiday and have found a way to celebrate both the holiday and her life in a way that I am sure she would probably appreciate. I want to thank both Zach and Marissa for writing in, and hopefully this will get you listening to the show, and we will be entertaining you a lot more in the future. Next up, our good friend Al Sedano writes in, and he says, oh, there's a picture in this one too. Wow, okay, I haven't actually read these ahead of time, as you know, generally I don't read the letters, so that I'm always surprised. Al says, happy holidays, Hugh. I'm hoping all is well with you and your family. Things are good here as we get ready for the holidays. Although we still have to put up our decorations, buy most of our presents, and decide if we want to try to get cards out this year. Pretty much normal. Well, Al, we're pretty good with the gifts thing. We've got all of the gifts we need, and the decorations go up the day after Halloween, pretty much. Christmas cards, though, man, I can never get those out. We've tried several years in a row. We just gave up. We just can't do it. And the worst part is, if we did do it properly, like you're supposed to send them to everybody, we would be sending out tons of Christmas cards to people that we never see, and family members, some of which we've never even met. It's unfortunately, my wife's family is, there's the tight-knit group of, her, a couple brothers and her mom, and then there's an extended family they never see. And with my family, it's, I see my mother and my brothers and sisters and never see the rest of them. So I just don't think the Christmas card thing is ever going to happen. Al continues, I know you're asking for holiday traditions, but I can't really think of any we had in my family. I guess the closest was on Christmas Eve. We would get together with my mother's side of the family, and on Christmas Day, spend it with my father's side. But nothing specific like everyone wearing an ugly sweater. Apparently my wife's family did that a few times, but not since I've been around. Maybe your fashion sense made them ashamed, Al. You never know. However, she and I did do that for last year for our Christmas cards. See attached, though hers is more covered up than mine. Well, yeah, Al. Oh, that's awesome. Gingerbread men and lightsabers. Oh, my God. You win Christmas right there, Al. Now that I am a married man, my wife has brought over one tradition from her family. On Christmas morning, she makes Eggs Benedict for breakfast. Apparently, that was Christmas breakfast that her mother made for years. Looking forward to hearing the episode and to another year of Geek Pod. Happy New Year, Al Sedano. Thank you, Al. That's such a nice letter. And you know what? I had no idea what you looked like until now. So, Definitely coolest Christmas sweater I may ever have seen. The breakfast thing is interesting because I can't think of a specific thing we used to eat, but when I was a kid, we would get up, we would see all the presents under the tree, and then we'd have to stop because Mom would make breakfast and we would have to eat breakfast, whatever it happened to be, probably French toast or pancakes or something like that. But we always had to eat breakfast before we could open our presents. Now, part of that was to give Dad time to get out of bed because he had such a hard time getting out of bed. And I'm guessing that, much like me, I'm sure I inherited this from him, but he would always have to have his daily time on the throne, or, twice daily time on the throne. One of those was when he first woke up. So, she was basically buying time for him to get his shit together, or shit out, as it were. And then so that we'd all sit down and have breakfast, and then we would open gifts. Thank you, Al, for the letter, and we have one more to go, kids. Our very own Paul Showens has written in, and he says, Merry Christmas, everyone. My favorite holiday memory was from 1983 or 84. I was around 7 and making my way through the gifts Santa left me. Lots of cool stuff, done superpowers, okay, Paul, and Star Wars figures and whatnot. Oh, I think he meant some. So I finish up and was happy, and then my mom is looking over everything and says, I think you missed one. She led me out to the kitchen where a huge, at least to me at the time, box sat wrapped in red paper. I tore into it to find the Imperial Shuttle. It was the biggest Star Wars ship I ever had, and I was psyched. My personal favorite tradition, I used to go to the movies every Christmas evening with my cousin Bob. Shit, now that I mention that, I really miss that. Maybe it's time to bring it back. And Paul does not say goodbye to us, so I guess he doesn't care. That's interesting. I got something for Star Wars that was big too. That was a huge. Oh, I got the Death Star. The original. It might have been. I'm pretty sure it was secondhand because I don't remember. It didn't come in a box or anything, but my parents still wrapped it up. But it had the trash compactor and all the little bits of foam and stuff in there, and you would like turn the wheel and it would close up. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Certainly one of my the best Christmas gifts I ever got. Although I have to say now, officially, even though I got it long before Christmas, best Christmas gift I've ever gotten is the Masterbuilt electric smoker my mother got me this year. That thing I have cooked more in that smoker since I got it at the beginning of December, more than I have in my kitchen. It's ridiculous, but it's also delicious. But that's going to cover all of the letters. We have one more day to go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this holiday journey with me. Tomorrow is Christmas. I'm going to do my best to record this and put this out just after midnight. I don't expect you guys to actually, listen to it that day, or maybe you'll be able to throw it on, while you're, putting some food together or stuff. It's not going to be anything big, though, because, I have to prepare to spend time with my family as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for one last time, and until then, talk and roll, kids.
GeekPod Blue is a GeekPod Network production. Executive producers Paul Showens and Hugh Allen. Concept created by Paul Showens and Hugh Allen. Intro is Opportunity by Jamus Breed. Closing is Bucket by Jamus Breed. Both licensed for use by Dennis Johnston. Want to help the show? Leave a 5-star rating on iTunes. GeekPod can be reached at contribute@geekpod.com or send us a tweet at GeekPod. That's G33kpod. You can also find GeekPod on Facebook and Instagram. G33kpod. That's G33kpod.
You're